Today I'm going to share with you how I went from making $40,000 a year to making over 6 figures yearly within a matter of weeks as an introvert doing sales. What is selling? A lot of people, when they start thinking about this or start talking about it, they think of salespeople as someone who's like a sleazebag, like a used car salesperson trying to force somebody to buy something that they don't need or want. As a salesperson, your job isn't to convince somebody to get something that they don't need or want. At the core of everything, you are fundamentally the conversion process at the end of a marketing funnel. They have a target avatar, meaning they know exactly who they're selling to. For example, pink sweatpants. They don't try to sell that to dudes. They don't try to sell pink sweatpants to 65-year-old men. They don't sell that to 80-year-old women. They're not selling that to toddlers. They have a target avatar. They know exactly who they're looking for. A younger woman who has a reason to both feel comfortable and to show off her goods, so to speak. So at the end of the day, your product actually is targeted at a specific kind of person. And if you don't know who that person is, you're actually wasting most of your time. So that's the first thing. Figuring out what does my product do and who does that product serve. You have to go and actually find those people, depending on whether or not you have leads or if you're in a passive business like a retail where people are walking into the business. Your job is actually to find out who you should be selling to first. So you are not meant to force people to buy something that they don't need, don't want, and doesn't actually solve a problem for them. Secondly, once you understand what the problem is that you're solving, you can then go and present those ideas to the customer. I'm on camera right now. I may or may not sound like I'm an introvert, but I get most of my energy from like hanging out by myself. I don't like going out and being with a ton of people all the time. It takes me a while to kind of recover from social interactions. So how did I become successful at sales? I didn't have the skills. I didn't like talking to people. I didn't want to go cold call. I didn't want to door knock. I didn't want to have conversations with random people and try to get them to buy something that they didn't want. The first thing that I had to learn was that my job as a salesperson is more like a doctor's job. For example, when you're dealing with patients, you wouldn't just start handing out medication at random to people. The first thing that you would have to do is diagnose. You have to actually learn about them, what their pains are, what kind of environment do you live in. You have to kind of eliminate all of the reasons that what you want to suggest to them may not be the right thing for them. You have to actually get deep with that person and learn about what exactly they need in order to actually help them. And as a salesperson, you have to do the same thing. You have to create a bridge of trust and help the person go from where they are to where they want to be, which is they have a problem. They need to have the problem solved. And if they could do it on their own, they wouldn't need you. There would be no need for you to bridge the gap for them. They're there with you because they actually need you to persuade them to do exactly what it is that will be most beneficial to them and actually solve their problem. This is what changed my life as a salesperson, that helped me to really understand. I didn't have to be an extrovert. I didn't have to present exceptionally well in order to help people. All I had to do was put the spotlight back on the person. It's actually your job to find out what's going on in their mind. As soon as you make it about you and what you want and your desire to close a deal or whatever, you get what's called commission breath. They can smell it from a mile away that they don't want to deal with you because you don't actually care about them. What actually helps people, what actually moves the needle on closing deals and making those be sales that stay on the books, that continue to make you money long term, that make your customers happy customers that then refer more people to you, is when they feel in their heart that you understand them, that you are listening to them, that you want to help them, that you care about who they are. The trick to actually to help them understand that and to build rapport with them is to actually care. Shift your mindset from being how do I make money to how do I have these people that I'm talking to trust that I have their back. You are barely in the picture. So as an introvert, it was like actually helpful for me to not want to be the center of attention, to not want to have people looking at me and asking a ton of questions about me, because at the end of the day, like, I'm such a small part of so many people's lives, but that little piece is been made about them. And that created that bridge of trust that helped them go from having a problem to being willing to see me as the expert, to then help them to make an informed, intelligent decision about how they could solve their problem. So if you're looking at it like you're sitting across the table from someone, even that body language is wrong. Face to face is a combative thing, especially for men. Mentally, whether you're doing it in person, whether you're on the phone, you need to position yourself as if you are on the same side of the table as they are, meaning you're sitting side by side. The two of you are both facing the problem together. All of your questioning is about who they are, what their desires are, what their current state is, what kind of pain are they going through, what have they tried before in order to solve those pains, why haven't they picked a solution yet? You need to unearth all of these things before you ever pitch a solution. Back to the original concept, which is that you are the sorting mechanism to find the right people and to pair them with the solutions. Sometimes that means that you don't have the solution to their problem as they need it. And there's nothing wrong with that. You need to learn how to quickly identify that, which is much easier if you're not the one talking. As soon as they identify you as the problem solver, you will have control and the power to persuade them as to why that would be the best decision for them. The sooner you can get the wrong people out of your funnel, the more likely it is that you're going to get the right people into your funnel. Don't be afraid of people saying, yeah, it's not for me. It's like, perfect. Thank you so much. Is there anyone that you know who might need this thing? It's way easier to ask when they feel very hurt. This is just a method that has helped me to break the ice in order to begin building trust with each customer so that I'm able to better serve them. FOR stands for family, occupation, and recreation. Do you come from a big family? How long have you been in the area? What do you do for work? What do you do in your spare time? Do you like fishing? Do you like hunting? Do you like playing video games? You'll know that somebody is willing to open up to you when they start giving you more than a couple words. They say, I'm good. I got a big family. I'm a plumber. That means that they don't trust you yet. So you want to keep asking them until you find something that they actually start getting excited about. When they start sharing more about something, don't move on to the next question. Ask more about that thing. Because as they start telling you about what they care about, that's when they start opening their hearts to you and they start being willing to share something that's more private with you. You'll be amazed at how simple it is. If you wanted to help somebody to talk more about something that they seem interested in, whenever they're done saying what they're saying, just repeat the last 3 words back to them as a question. So they start telling me about, I don't know, their dog. So my dog Lucy, she's a Boston Terrier. She runs around the house. She has such great personality. Regardless of what I think, whether I think Boston Terriers are dumb, if I don't want to talk about her dog, what matters is what she cares about. She likes to run around like a maniac. She eats her food in like 30 seconds. She'll then puke up all over the floor. Or repeating the last 3 words to them as a question will help them to expound upon what they've already said. So your job is really just to learn as much about them as possible so that they feel like you're there for them. Ultimately, you will get back to their problems. But before you start talking about their problems, give them an opportunity to talk about who they are. Most people are actually super concerned with themselves. So if you give them an opportunity to present themselves in a good light, that's actually giving them the opportunity to feel good about how they're positioned with you, which increases the likelihood that they're going to trust you and be willing to share more vital information with you. So what helped me the most was not being in the spotlight. That was giving all of the attention, all of the praise, all of the things that are positive back to the customer in order to learn about them and hear about their fears, hear about their anxieties, hear about their pains. And then when I would go to pitch, it was so simple. All they needed from me was to like them enough that they felt confident that I cared, that I listened to them. And then it almost didn't matter what the solution I presented was. Everyone that I was talking to, as soon as I took the pressure off of me, almost put the pressure on them, the spotlight on them to learn about who they are, that was when my life changed. Even if they didn't buy from me, they liked me. Because they liked me, they'd be willing to point me in the right direction. Now, it wasn't every time, but anytime that they could, they would. So if you're looking to get into sales, just remember that the most important thing is being willing to just discover more about other people and then to do that at a high volume. Find the no's, get them out of the way. That makes way for you to find the right people. And that's how you actually make a lot of money doing something. Is solving problems. Remember, you're a problem solver. You're the doctor, and your job is to figure out if you're even able to help them. And when you come from it from that perspective, it dramatically changes your result. All right, later.